the JLab Epic Air ANC earbuds. These are terrible. Do not buy them. Sorry. If you want to know more, stick around, but that's the long and short of it for the review. So maybe you're puttering around Best Buy right now and you're looking for an excuse to buy this, but most of the reviews, especially from other YouTubers or when it just was coming out, they were sending out review copies before the app was even out. And there were some glowing reviews on the YouTube, but if you actually look at the comments of those, especially the instructional videos by JLab themselves, a lot of these things are shipping bricked, or at the very least, they're shipping in a way where people are having a very hard time getting them to work. I got mine to work. Eventually, it took me about 5 or 6 hours to get them to work. I had to take the earbuds out, and I had to use rubbing alcohol extremely tough on these terminals right here. For whatever reason, they seem to be shipping with some sort of coating around these terminals that are stopping them from actually fully connecting with the charging base. So I had to scrub them down, put it on the charger, wait like 3 hours. One of them started to eventually work, scrub them down again. And eventually, after like half a day, I was able to get this thing to work at all. Then I was downloading the app. The app is pretty clumsy. Basically, there's settings in it, like, for example, the press and hold functionality. You're supposed to be able to remap the buttons. If you want to remap what the press and hold is, it says to update the app, and then I would update the app as far as it can update. It can't be updated anymore. There's spelling errors, like, all over the app, so it just seems a little silly. Like, you'd hope that there would be a bit more work into it, especially with all the problems that people are having with this thing. It's not just me, I swear. In terms of audio quality, yeah, they sound good. They sounded exactly like what I expected. The EQ does work. Having the bass boost on the EQ is nice. In terms of comfort, they're comfortable enough. It comes with multiple heads, but they still fall out of my ears. I swear I've tried every single little foam attachment, but I just simply can't use these on a hot day like today because I am just like so gross and sweating, and these have fallen out of my head at least 3 times today, which kind of finally drove me to make this review because I wish there was a review like this when I had bought these stupid things from Best Buy for, I don't know, like $80. And the last thing that's really important is that there is a sensor on the side of these things right here, and this is what detects whether or not it's in your ear. So, you know, if you had your finger over this, it would think that it's in your ear. And I think it's just a light sensor. I don't think that it's for anything else, simply because mine were basically broken. Like, anytime I went for a walk, literally every 5 minutes or so, they would think that they've been pulled out of my ears, even though they're not. Like, even when these things are jammed in there as far as I can get it in my little ears, they would still pause the music automatically. And what's funny is that the app has a setting to specifically tell it not to do that. But as I mentioned, the app is real poo-poo caca, so it doesn't actually change that setting. So what I had to do was I took some really thick house paint, some black house paint, and I put a little dab of paint over the sensor. Let it dry, added like 3 coats on each. And this actually solved the problem. Now these earbuds think that they're in my ear all the time because I had to plug the sensor for them to stop thinking that they're out. And it becomes a little bit of a problem. Sometimes I really have to put them in the base a couple of times to get them to acknowledge, yes, they're not in my ear, they're being charged now. So I eventually got them to work for me in at least some capacity. Other than that, you know, they connected fine once I actually got them to work after scrubbing the terminals. And yeah, you know, if JLab fixed the problems on these, if they fixed the sensor, if they fixed the terminals, if they fixed the app, then sure, this would have been a great buy. The noise canceling is so-so, you know, it's all right. The Be Aware functionality is actually the main reason why I bought it. I needed that so I don't get hit by a car when I'm walking at night. And the Be Aware functionality is great. I love the way that it mixes it with your music. So Yeah, JLab could fix this, maybe, if they make a revised version or something. Check that out. But as far as these things, though, I mean, just go to the JLab YouTube account where they're showing how to connect these, and all of the comments are people who can't get them to work. It's not worth it. It's a stinker. Sorry. Gotta go for something else. And sorry I'm gross today. Ooh, it's hot.